Weak grip strength isn't just annoying, it's also a predictor of your overall health. So today I'm going to show you 4 easy exercises you can do at home to strengthen your grip with stuff from around your house. Let's get into it. Now, if you want to get right to the exercises, you can go ahead and jump to this timestamp. But if you have a minute, hang with me, because understanding why grip weakness happens and why it matters so much is going to make these exercises even more effective for you. Research shows us that a weak grip is linked to lower overall muscle strength, higher fall risk, increased frailty, decreased independence, and cardiovascular problems. And it's not because your grip strength is some magical thing. It's because it's basically a window into your overall health. When your grip strength declines, it usually means that your overall body strength is declining too. But when you're a stroke survivor, it becomes even more important and even more complex. For stroke survivors, weak grip strength isn't just about weak muscles. Rather, it's a combination of multiple neurological and muscular factors happening at the same time. Let me explain. So the first factor we have to consider is flexor spasticity. And specifically, I'm talking about the finger and wrist flexors. These can become hyperactive after a stroke due to spasticity. And this can lead to a tight or curled hand, a clenched fist that's really difficult to open, and general trouble relaxing your hand. It's due to an overactive spinal stretch reflex, which causes those muscles to contract when they shouldn't be. Now, the second factor we have to consider is extensor weakness, and this is really critical. The muscles that help to open your hand and bend your wrist back almost always become weaker after a stroke. And that's because typically they're smaller. We don't do as much in wrist and finger extension as we do with finger and wrist flexion. And so the spasticity of those flexors fighting against those smaller, weaker muscles anyway can cause the weakening of those wrist and finger extensors. And this matters because part of grip is being able to release it. And when you have weak extensors plus increased flexor spasticity, opening your hand and releasing objects becomes really difficult. The third factor is poor coordination and/or apraxia. And this is where you have difficulty coordinating movements or being able for your brain to tell your hand exactly what to do. So you may have trouble with that sequence of opening the hand, grasping, and releasing. And this is where you can see many survivors drop items, maybe accidentally crush something if they're holding it too tightly, and of course, difficulty opening the hand and releasing objects. The fourth factor we need to consider is sensory alteration or loss. Because if you can't feel your hand, it's numb, or the sensory is altered so it doesn't feel the same, it becomes really hard to use your hand in the same way you did before your stroke. It can lead to an inconsistent grip, difficulty understanding and telling what's in your hand, decreased confidence, and increased fatigue of the muscles in your hand. So with those factors in mind, the 4 exercises I'm going to show you target all of those aspects at once. The first exercise is the towel twist. So all you're going to need is a simple washcloth or a hand towel. You're going to hold it with both of your hands close together, and you want to twist it one way, like you're trying to wring out water, and then twist it the other way, like you're doing the same thing. The goal is to keep both hands on the towel at the same time, not letting your hand slip or slide off. This is going to help strengthen your grip, improve your forearm strength, improve wrist stability and movement, and hopefully translate to real-life tasks like being able to open a jar or a lid. And specifically, you want to make sure you're doing this in a slow manner so that you don't kick that flexor spasticity up if that's something that you experience. Exercise number 2 is finger lifts. And this is where you're going to place your hand flat on a table and try to lift those fingers up, keeping your palm flat on the table. Now, if this is too difficult to start with, you can turn your hand so that it's pinky side down and then try to bring your fingers back that way. Regardless, this exercise is incredibly important because we're focusing on the finger extensors. This is helping to bring the fingers back. And it's so important because it's the part of the grip that allows you to actually open up your fingers and release an object, which can be one of the most affected areas after a stroke. So while we need to focus on strengthening the actual grip, we also need to focus on being able to release the grip as well. Exercise number 3 is a farmer's carry with a grocery bag. This is where you basically hold something in your hand, in this case, a grocery bag, and you walk from one point of the room to another and back. But here's the thing, this exercise can be modified to meet you where you are, so that if you're not walking yet or you don't feel safe enough to walk with something in your hands, you can also do this sitting down. So all you need to do for this one is grab a plastic or reusable grocery bag, put a few canned items in them, and then hold on to the handles. If you're able to walk and it's safe enough for you to do so, you're gonna walk from one point in your house to another and back, trying to maintain that grip and not drop those grocery bags. If that's too difficult, you can sit in a chair and just hold onto those bags and try not to let them drop to the floor. You're gonna start with a lighter weight and slowly increase that over time to start improving your grip strength really functionally. Our last exercise is squeeze and release. So again, you can grab the hand towel or the washcloth that you used earlier, and you're going to kind of ball it up, place it in your affected hand, and you basically just want to do a hard squeeze, hold for a few seconds, and then you want to try to slowly release to the point that you actually drop the washcloth or the hand towel. And I love this one because we're not only training grip, but we're also training release as well. So we get grip strengthening, but we also get that coordination as well. Now you may be wondering, how many sets and repetitions of these exercises should I be doing? Well, because we're focused on strength, we want to shoot for around 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions each. And make sure that you give yourself a little bit of a break in between each set. Now, specifically for the farmer's carry, you may want to focus on timed carries versus repetitions because that can be kind of hard to measure. So maybe you start off with doing a carry for 15 seconds before it feels like you're going to drop the bags. But you can work yourself up to 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, until that feels challenging but doable. Leave me a comment and let me know what has worked best to help rebuild your grip strength. And of course, if you found this video helpful, please make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, click the join button to become a channel member, or leave us a super thanks by clicking in the YouTube bar below. And thank you so much to all of the donors who make this nonprofit possible, with a special thank you to Modus Nova and Joseph M. and our Empowerer tier on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.